Good morning, traders, and welcome to this week's weekly market analysis, Monday the 25th of March. All right, this week not a whole lot of data due out, but the key ones to look out for, we have our CPI numbers due out for Australia this week. I believe it's on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, other key from the US is the unemployment numbers. Those are the highlights for the week, but just keep a note of those. I'll post it just over here just so that you can have a closer look. But that's about the highlights that I can point out for you in terms of data. So let's just jump straight into our charts and have a look at what we can see this week. So we'll kick off with the Aussie US dollar. This particular chart, let me just zoom out a little bit. I've been tracking this converging triangle that you can see over here. We are getting narrower, but what I can also see developing, and I mentioned it last week, is that we've got somewhat of a mini trend in here in the upward direction. So let's just focus on that one. We are at a point where we've touched that level once, twice, and we are there again. So essentially what we could look for straight away from this point onwards is if the very next candle, which is due to start very, very shortly, was to look something along like this, say a blue candle, and it's an inside candle to the red one, that in itself would be a trigger for us. And then tomorrow on the break of that candle, we would be able to become buyers in this particular market. So, and that would be me trying to trade the little mini trend inside the converging triangle, and hoping to get towards the top side of that converging triangle. Okay, so there you have it. That's my thoughts on the Aussie US. What I'll do before I leave this chart is I'll just grab that zone and just still keep it there, because I just want to flag to myself that if we do pick up a trade and we're heading in that direction, around about that area we could come into some resistance, and so if we were already long, it would be a point where we would definitely consider exiting the trade and looking in the other direction. Okay, all right, let's look at the Euro USD. Euro USD is another converging triangle. It's a little bit tighter, it's a little bit nicer, to be honest. And the next trade that I can see on the cards here, the most likely one is this one here. Let me just pick it up. We're looking for something to happen in this yellow zone that I've marked out. So we've already touched the bottom once and shot up, touched it a second time and shot up, and now we are coming down into this area. And if we can come and touch and show evidence that the market has come down and is now wanting to reverse back up in this direction, that would be a trade with significant probability in our favor. So essentially the way it would look is, let me try and draw it out for you to help. Let's say the next candle, which hasn't started yet, is a red candle again and looks something like that. For example, it can have a bit of a wick in either direction. And then what we would need is the immediate candle to follow it to be inside of that one. And those two as a pair would be an inside candle pair, which is a reversal pattern. So the markets come from up, down, showing the reversal, and then we can get our trigger to become a buyer back up. And it's all within the converging triangle. So that's a plus. And of course, as we reach towards this area here, we would look at possibly looking for a trade back down. So we can take many trades in this situation, but we're just looking for the ones that have the highest probability in our favor. So there you have it. The Euro USD, we are approaching the bottom of the converging zone, and let's see if we can pick up a trade back up into the other direction. All right. US yen. All right, I've been tracking the US yen for a little bit, and I've had a marker. You can see there's my marker there. And finally, what's happened is we have reached that level. Okay, it's not your traditional best looking type of double top. However, it is a key region. okay, where the market has reacted significantly in the past. So what I'm going to look for right now is I'm going to look for any evidence in these candles or the next coming candles that the market is wanting to reverse. At the moment, I don't have that evidence yet, but if I do get a reversal pattern right here, right now, then I'm happy to become a seller and short this market back down. Okay, now I've got a marker down here. Let me check why I've got a marker there. Okay, I've got this support level and I'm just putting it there just to remind myself of where the market may come and may have a little bit of a difficult time breaking through. But forget about this one for the moment. The trade that I'm looking for immediately right now is I'm looking for a reversal right now to see if I can become a seller in this particular market. That's the US yen. All right, let's move along and let's have a look at the next one, which is the cable, the GBP USD. All right, let me zoom out a little bit more for this one. Okay, we're in a bit of a sideways market. I do have that marker there, basically for this line here, where we have once and twice rejected off that level. So I've drawn my line in, but we're a little bit far from that in reality. Over here, before we pick up any single trade, let me just measure how far I am. I'm around about nearly 290 pips away from that area. So at the moment, I'm in a little bit of sideways congestion. What I really want to happen here is I do want the market to break through, come down to this level, and then when we're around about this level, that's when I'll start to get interested, looking for a reversal to become a buyer. At the moment where we are, I really don't have any interest. There's better things from the other charts that I've shown you this morning. So for this one, let's just wait. Let's see if it breaks down, and if it does, let it come down to this region over here before we can look for reversal and try to become a buyer. Okay, that's the GBP USD this week. Let's move along, have a look at oil. All right, I've been tracking oil for a little while and we're kind of in no man's land, but now it is clear that we are in some kind of a trend, okay, here. So what I can do is I'm going to try and trade the trend. So I'm trying to buy into the dips. So essentially, for example, see a dip down, you're looking for buying opportunities there. It's pushed up. When it comes down, we're going to look for buying opportunities there. So when it dips down, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the reversal candle patterns. So I'm looking for my price action to tell me that it's dipped down and now it's wanting to reverse, so that I can kick on and continue to trade into the trend. All right, so I look at these candles right now. I really do want it to fall a little bit lower. So let me zoom in a little closer, and let me try and draw for you what I would like to see. In an ideal world, I would like another red candle, possibly around about this kind of depth there. It can have a wick, and then I would look for a little blue one on the inside. That to me tells me it's got a nice dip down, a good reversal, and then at the break of that candle, that's it. I would be happy to become a buyer. So in an ideal world, that's what I'm looking for specifically, but let's see the way it delivers it. There is an inside candle right now in these two. Let me just highlight that out. As such, the little red one is inside of the bigger red one, so it just does not look so pretty to my eye. So I would prefer it to fall a little bit lower. But what could happen is, as the next candle starts shortly, let's say it starts over here somewhere, if it breaks that right there, okay, the high of the inside, if you're a little bit more aggressive and you're happy with that, well then that's it. That's a buying signal right in itself. For me, I'm kind of hoping that when the next candle opens, it actually breaks the low of the inside candle, which means it would cancel that out, takes it completely off the table for me, and then I'm looking for that candle to come down a little bit, perhaps something like that, and followed up with my wrong color, followed up with my blue candle, and then on the inside become a buyer. Okay, I hope that makes sense for you. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. More than happy to address those questions for you. All right, so that's the plan for WTI. We're in a trend. We just want to dip down a little bit, show me reversal, and then continue in the direction of the trend. Last one for the week, gold. Okay, gold has kicked. It's kicked on. Well, it broke that high, and I had a marker here that I was looking for an inside candle. And look what's happened. Let me just zoom in. It actually happened, obviously not exactly where I've drawn. Yeah, let me zoom in a bit better. I think if I count backwards 5 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we were here. This was last week, okay? The little red one here, this is an inside candle pair right there. Okay, so the little red one is inside the blue one, and that would have been your signal, and it's kicked on, and look, it's giving you quite a nice, so your entry would have been there, and it peaked at that level, and your stop would have been here. So you can clearly see, just visually I can see that distance in relation to this distance, it's roughly 3 to 1. Okay, so that's the sign of a nice trade, and that did play out. So right now, let me zoom out a little bit again. For me to get interested in this trade now, I really want it to break down, and I need to get through there, so I need to come to around about this level there before I look again for the buying signal. The trade that I mentioned last week has already happened and has already played out. So that's what I would be looking for this week. Okay, so there you have it. That is our analysis for this week. That was gold. Have a look over here. I've just posted up for you. So these are the announcements for this particular week. Please keep note of those so that you don't get caught into any trades that you don't really have an interest in. But other than that, hope you have a great week, and I'll speak to you. Well, actually, next week is Easter, so perhaps I'll try and post something out on the Tuesday after the public holiday. Have a good Easter, have a good trading week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.